Hello, my name's Alicia. In this video, I'll explain some additional features on the indexing working screen using a number of projects to demonstrate them. At the top of the screen, you see the menu headings for batch operations, data entry, and help. On the data entry menu, those items which are ticked are currently active. Clicking Show Reference Images gives the split screen view with the current image on the left and a choice of reference images on the right. You can also switch the reference images on and off with the split screen icon on the image toolbar. For some projects, there's a choice of data entry mode. The default is form entry. Click Data Entry on the menu to see what other entry modes are available for the particular project. This is table entry, and the entry fields scroll horizontally. This is form entry, and the entry fields scroll vertically. If a data entry mode is not available for a particular batch, it will appear light grey instead of black as shown here, and your mouse pointer changes to indicate those options which are not selectable on the menu. Only form entry can be selected for this batch. At the top centre is the name of the project and its batch number. At the top right, your display name is shown and a reminder of the task in hand, in this case, indexing. I want to show you the toolbar, so I'll switch that on from the Data Entry menu. Click Show Toolbar. To understand the function of each item on the toolbar, hover your mouse over each in turn and a tool tip window appears. Where there is a key combination that performs the same operation, that information is also given in the tool tip window. There are keyboard shortcuts for many operations. On the menu, click Help, then Keyboard Shortcuts to see them. You can download and print this file if required. You can switch between the two steps of the indexing process, images and entries, at any time using this drop-down menu at the top left. Next to that, you can see the time that the batch was last saved. Click the Feedback button if you want to ask a question or describe a problem to support. For batches with multiple images, this panel indicates which image is currently displayed, and when the image gallery is maximized, a coloured box shows around the thumbnail of the image. This panel indicates which entry you are on for the image. A field with an asterisk requires an entry, but if the required information is not present on the image, as shown by the arrow on the father's name, you mark the corresponding fields blank. To do that, you can click the first cross icon on the toolbar. The current field is the father's given name, and that is marked blank. Using the keyboard, this is done with a key combination of Control-B or Command-B. For a Windows computer, this means holding down the Control key on your keyboard, then pressing the letter B key. Or, for a Mac computer, hold down Command and press B. Here, the father's surname field was marked blank by pressing Control-B. There are some time-saving features for data entry. For text entries, the first letter of each word is capitalized for you, so that you don't need to use the Shift key on your keyboard. There's also an autofill, which makes suggestions based on information already made for previous entries. There are a number of ways of selecting the month for an event. With the month field in focus, press the down arrow key on your keyboard until the required month is shown. Type the first letter of the month. However, where there are a number of months with the same first letter, such as January, June and July, or March and May, or April and August, you can type the first letter repeatedly until it shows the month required. Type the first 3 letters of the month fairly quickly. Click the field with your mouse and select the month you want. For images containing multiple records, it can be useful to mark your place as you enter them by switching on the ruler. To do that, click Data Entry, then Show Ruler. You move the ruler as you work by dragging it with your mouse. As you change the image size or move it around the screen, your ruler keeps the same relative size and position. To change the colour and transparency of your ruler, click Batch, then Settings. Adjust as you wish. There is flexibility for adding new entries and deleting unwanted entries. Instead of adding new entries one by one, you can add the number you need in one step. You can also delete unwanted blank entries that you have added by mistake. However, be extra cautious when deleting entries, as that step cannot be undone. Before proceeding, note that the question regarding seeing more information on the image to index and the corresponding answer buttons are present as normal. Click this icon to add new entries and to choose their number and location. You can add entries before the first entry, after the current entry, or after the last entry. In this batch, there are 9 baptism records on the image and 3 entries have been made. Therefore, instead of adding entries one by one, you can add the additional 6 entries required in one step. However, to demonstrate the delete feature, let's add 9 new entries, giving 3 entries too many. Note that the question and corresponding answer buttons have been removed. You've just told it there are more entries, so it no longer needs to ask the question. The other change is on the entry navigation panel, now showing 12 entries. To index baptism 4, press Tab or Enter to move to your next entry. Continue in this manner until you've indexed the final baptism record. However, you are now left with 3 blank entries, the excess added earlier. When you click the Delete Entries icon, you have the ability to delete the current entry or all blank entries, which is the option you want. Click Delete to remove the 3 unwanted blank entries for this image. If there were other images, any blank entries in them would also be removed. The question and the answer buttons reappear and the total number of entries in the navigation panel is now correct. Click Submit Batch to start the quality check. Submit your work. A major feature of the working screen is the manipulation of images to let you decipher the contents more easily. That is described in detail in another video called Difficult Handwriting. As you gain more experience with the indexing process, you'll feel a greater sense of satisfaction and realise the worthwhile contribution you're making.